The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, The Challenge, War of the Worlds, Episode 2. Recap and fantasy scoring. If you want to get into a draw for 20 DraftKings dollars, there are two ways to do that this week. Number one, smash the like button for the episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. I mean, you can like the episode as much as you want anyway, but I mean, why not try to get into a draw for 20 DK dollars? Free money for anyone who wins that draw. Winners will be announced on Monday, but you leave your DraftKings handle after smashing that like button and give me your 3 favorite people, power ranked, on the season so far. Not necessarily who's going to win, but just who you enjoy the most. I'll have my rankings towards the end of the show. And obviously, there's always the audio podcast. I don't want to forget about those people downloading and listening on their Android or Apple. So whatever subscription service that you use, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, doesn't matter. Leave a 5-star review, something nice about the show and your DraftKings handle, and you too will be in a draw for 20 DK dollars. Let's jump into this. The Mel Kiper of fantasy reality TV is here. It is Paul Shaughnessy. What is up?
I want to correct you on one thing.
Okay.
You said you can like the episode as much as you like, which is more or less false for most people, unless you're like Cuss and you have like countless burners. You can probably only like it once if you have one account.
You could like it and then, then not like it. And go back and like it. You can like it as much as you want.
I'm just nitpicking here for
just
the most
please
part.
smash the like. It helps people see the show.
It's true.
Share the show too. I mean, people need to know.
You can't win the deal.
People need to know about Fantasy Challenge and recaps of the challenge. I know there's a lot of challenge recap shows, but none with us do.
No.
Only this one.
We will get into a much deeper humanistic type of debates about things. And I thought it was a really interesting episode all around. You can kind of start to see the beginning of dramas forming. You can see that there's maybe some alliances and things that go on behind the cameras that I'm surprised they would have showed, but we'll get into all of that. I've got some theories.
All right, let's start with the actual fantasy scoring for the week. Number 1 in the scoring, the winner of the elimination. It is Mr. Hunter.
Smashed
everyone in fantasy scoring this week. So he comes in at, let's see here, 153 points.
Yeah. Like,
that's a lot. And then we got, let's see, is Bananas second? Yeah, Bananas second, 75 points. Who else scored highly here? Morgan, Johnny's partner, scored 47 points.
Jenna, because she was crying and stuff.
Yeah, Jenna.
Amanda, because she's just the devil.
Yeah.
And like that's what Amanda's gonna do.
Leroy 37, Hunter's partner, Georgia scored 40. I suppose it's time to reveal like who we have on our teams, right?
Yep.
Who do you have on your team?
I have Cara Maria as my captain.
Okay. So she scores, what is it?
37, and then I don't know, you get the bonuses. We'd have to talk to Rob McIntyre to get. I don't understand how the bonuses really work, but I went with Cara just because I like her teammate. So I also have Theo. So I have the triple stack of Cara, her partner, and Paulie for the coitus points.
And you have Paulie's partner, Ninja, I'm assuming.
Yes. And then I have, who else do I have on here? Let me, 1 second. I don't have my team written down in front of me. Paulie, Ninja, Cara Maria, Theo. I have Cam. And I think Nani, because she's like, I have 4 women on my team.
All right,
I'm trying to get those coitus points. Those are what really add up. Like you're gonna have. I just thought generally, especially with the guys, there was just so many good competitors this year that I thought my strategy would be going after drama and sex. And usually drama and sex follow each other around. So hopefully I can at least get like 2 girls in the final. Like that's the ultimate goal here.
Yeah, so I didn't do as much in terms of like just stacking teams. I did take Theo. I don't have Cara Maria, but I took Theo just because he looks, even in the eliminated, like the daily mission, looked great.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like he's a gamer.
People are surprised because he's kind of like tall and skinny, but like he's
an Olympic athlete.
No, exactly. They're like, oh, this guy's really strong. So it's like, well, yeah, like he represented not just a country, Great Britain at the Olympics. Like that's high level athleticism.
I don't know how high level Great Britain is at like 4x400. I think that's what he was in.
They're not bad.
I mean, I don't know. They're not America.
They're not Jamaica. They're not America. but like you usually see some like British guys step into it in some of the sprints and stuff like that. Like they're good. They're reputable.
So I have Theo. I didn't have enough money for Hunter left over, so I ended up taking his partner Georgia. So I'm glad they ended up staying in the game. That really helped. My team captain is Turbo because I think Turbo is going to win. Although I'm really regretting it because I don't think that he's going to score a bunch of points.
Well, he doesn't really speak English. Like he speaks English, but he doesn't get into any fights with. Like he's not going to get into too many fights. I don't think with anybody. We haven't like maybe does he drink?
We didn't see him drinking.
I don't know if he's Muslim or if.
Yeah, we brought that up on last week's show.
Yeah, because like that's a big thing. If he's not getting booze, he's not getting a bunch of the drama points, and you need drama points week to week to really
sustain yourself, or you have to win a lot of the daily challenges.
For
now,
sure.
I did pair him up with Nani, and what I'm hoping here is we even saw Nani like briefly start to get into it with Amanda last night. That she's just a hothead.
Yeah.
She'll sleep with anyone. She's a hothead. And Turbo seems very protective of her. So if she starts getting into it, maybe Turbo has to interject himself into the mix and really start throwing down.
Anybody who had Hunter this week would probably have gotten nervous when those fights started breaking out, him and Leroy and stuff, though. Because, like, we've seen on recent seasons of the challenge that it doesn't take very much for... You throw one punch, and it's not like CT cracking skulls back in the day and having no remorse. Like, you get kicked off of the show if you throw hands once. Like, if you pull, who was the girl who did the cup of the balls on Jordan?
Hurricane Naya. Naya, never to be.
Naya and Camilla, the worst competitor in challenge history.
You hate Camilla. That really proved out to be. I mean,
she's one of like the few people I have blocked on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, I just not feeling it. I just can't. I hated her before all of this other stuff. Now the rest of the world is kind of on board with me, but like I got bad vibes from her from the get-go. But yeah, she's not coming back on the show either. They do not want to be part of that. Like it's just, she's been like 2-3 seasons now that she's been gone. Yeah, they didn't invite her to the reunion that one year. Like I think I think she's fully out.
Yeah, I think she's uninsurable at this point. I think that's why if there's an avenue to have Camilla back, I think they'll probably have her.
Sure.
That'd be my guess. But the rest of my team.
Put her as like Amanda's partner.
I have Wes and D as the rest of my team. Okay. I think that they're going to go. Although I didn't enjoy Wes's performance against Bananas.
Yeah, but he's teamed up with Hunter, which is good. I think
that's solid.
And it's funny in terms of like the dynamics and stuff because there was like a clip that was released on Wes's Twitter account, I believe, and him and Johnny are like buddy because the camera's not technically on. It's their own camera, right? And it's just like, once you get into the house, just like, oh, he's my enemy, blah, blah, blah. Like, these guys are playing it up. Like, I don't think they actually dislike each other like they try to play out on the show anymore.
I think that they used to dislike each other.
For sure.
But I think enough time has passed. Yeah, this is good for the show.
This is part of the gimmick. This is part of the game. It's almost like professional wrestling where it's just like, this is our brand that like, we are rivals.
Quick thought on Wes. Let's get into the episode. Does he have braces?
I didn't notice.
I was standing really close to the TV. I have my 3-week-old son, so I'm like, I don't want to be too loud, so I have to stand right next to the TV. Okay. I'm looking at him, I was like, Wes, it just might be like a weird like line on the camera because they're using like super high resolution cameras because they've really upgraded the budget on this show.
Maybe it's just a retainer.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just a weird discoloration on his teeth, like just based on my TV. My TV's like 3 years old now. Maybe just where it was so white or something like that all of a sudden it shows as gray and makes it look like braces. But it's just something I knew. And also Amanda, she's wearing like in her confessionals something like Michael Jackson would wear in the mid-'80s. It's just a horrendous look. And I really can't stand it.
She's a horrendous person.
I don't know about that. I think that if we're going to have like the Bananas and Wes playing it up for the cameras, I think at the same time Amanda just embraced the role as like hateable person on the show. And that's going to get you back. Yeah. Every single year. And like she performed all right. I actually despise her partner, Josh. Far more.
He seems like a total goober.
He just seems like the world's biggest jabroni. And like
they did well in that challenge though. I don't know what was the goal of that challenge.
Yeah, I was very the challenge, the tug of war challenge like the partners have to like pull the rope and like I guess the most feet of rope that you get on your side that ends up winning. But like,
and then it was
did he win or did she win or is it like a comment? Like the rules were clear, but they didn't actually show you who was winning at any point.
No,
so that was very
you just saw a monster truck drive over a bunch of cars, which is cool. But it's just like when that was going on, I'm like, I have no idea who won this or like even what they were trying to accomplish.
See, I don't watch Big Brother, so I'm not really in tune with a lot of these Big Brother people. I'm pretty much on record as like, I don't think that they're the greatest competitors in this thing. Maybe Josh is, but he has like, you see like Turbo and that Ashley guy and all like the challenge dudes, like they're all like super jacked. He has like former fat guy body.
Yeah.
Like he's not in, like he's in like okay shape.
No, yeah, Amanda got a dud partner, and you should, regardless of how, if you, I bet you nobody rostered them anyway.
I don't know, but I think that they're gonna last in this challenge. Because I think
they're a weak team.
I think they are the weak team.
That being said, the fact that Amanda is so hateable and the fact that Ashley just left, like I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in because it's one of those things that like, yeah, they're a weak team, but it's like, I don't want to live with these people. I don't want to hang out with these people and constantly be on edge. Like people, she's playing a tough game. Let's just say that. Usually it's like the really, like Davon and whoever her partner is, Davon and Bear. That's the type of team you keep around. Sure, they'll get into a little bit of drama, but like they're not going to be constantly grilling you and annoying you and being in your face all the time. Like Amanda is setting herself up to get eliminated. She doesn't have a good enough partner to be a bitch.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, like people are going to get annoyed. There's so many teams right now, and there's a bunch of weak teams. Like you don't have to keep them around. Her best friend just got bounced. She was getting into it in the tribunal. Like she is not playing anybody else's game, which is fine, but yeah, I don't think it's going to last long for her and Big Brother Josh. I'll tell you that much.
Well, on the Big Brother thing though, Davon's actually one that I do like. I like Davon.
I like her too. Yeah,
and apparently, like Big Brother people hate Jose. I thought he was just very compelling on the challenge.
I thought he was entertaining. Him and Shane going at it was fun. Like,
it was, and like even on the Chance versus Stars season, he can't swim at all.
Yeah, but
like no fear jumping into the pool. He almost drowned.
I thought it was a good compare. I'm surprised they didn't bring him back this year. Maybe he's busy. He's got a rap.
He's got a rap career.
Yes.
Like, yeah. But Davon as the narrator has been really good. Like so far, it's been Devon and CT as the two narrators, and this brings me to like the two of us work in production. We can see how some of this stuff goes. It's telegraphed a little bit. We're getting a lot of Wes and Bananas right now.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe at the end, like they released a pretty big spoiler on the next season. It just said legend will be defeated. Now, what happens if we get into elimination and it's CT, Zach, Bananas, or Wes versus one of the new people?
Yeah.
Then we know who's going to win.
Yeah, precisely. And like the way the things are shaking out right now, like you can probably eliminate certain people just based on how it feels like the number game is playing right now. Like, it seems like Wes and Hunter have a bit of a grouping together right now. And they had a few of these other, like, rookies and stuff that were all frolicking to them when they were talking about getting rid of Bananas and what their strategy was going to be.
So who do you think it is?
I think it's going to be...
I think it's going to be CT or Bananas.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Like, I think Wes has enough numbers right now. And Wes knows the game. It's just like... If he has the numbers, and Wes is so good at the politics, that's why Hunter's lucky to have Wes right now, because
it's a really good team. Like it's a very good match because Hunter's just brute force, and Wes is like, yeah, I know what's going on. I'm not a moron.
Exactly. I know that I have enough support on my team right now. I honestly think it's going to be Bananas going home.
Bananas, but I mean, we're not. It's just we're getting so much of him right away. Yeah. Normally in the seasons, like you get your Bananas because he's the star of the show, but you don't normally get this much. And we didn't get a toast from Bananas this year. It's true. First time in a while. I don't recall like the welcome to the challenge, do whatever.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do that.
Like even like the banana antics, like when he was going at Amanda, which is pretty funny actually.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I do enjoy Bananas. I hope it's not him because I do like seeing him on the show, but this usually happens like episode 5 and 6.
Well, like who else would it be?
It could be CT, Wes.
What about Leroy? Would they count him as a legend?
I don't think so. I think you probably need to have had like a win.
Yeah.
And I think Leroy did himself a lot of favors in this episode with that Hunter fight. I think that really establishes him like, don't come after me because you hate Johnny. I think that went along like, it really helped that you don't want to get into, and like, what was with the Hunter?
Well, they're trying to cut out Johnny's legs. I don't know. Maybe it's a type of situation, and it'll probably end up being a spoiler. But like maybe somebody like Turbo goes in against like Johnny.
Well, and I guess that's the big thing. We don't know how good some
Like-
of these other teams are. What if it's that Ashley Kane guy? Like, I don't want to go again. Like,
No.
if he had been in the
Like you have a tug of war contest against that guy's a freaking mutant.
Well, he did say that he didn't know how long. Like he's, I got the pipes, but I don't know how long they could last. Real talk. I kind of like him. He was one calming down Hunter.
I wanted to roster him, but I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger.
I also appreciate about the British people, and maybe this won't end up coming to fruition, but like he was just kind of like mocking all the challenge people, like, oh, this happened in 26 seasons ago. It's like, get over it, mate. It seems like the British people are very willing to move on from whatever rivalry that they have,
For sure.
which is nice.
Yeah.
They don't.
I like the addition of all the British people. Like it just adds a different dynamic, just different voices, different accents and stuff. It's kind of fun around the house. And the British people like to party.
British people are better at reality TV than Americans.
I agree. 100%.
Like they are just willing to go 100%.
Yeah.
They're not. Maybe they are playing it up for the cameras, and we just don't notice.
Yeah, but maybe the accent, it's tougher for us to tell like
Decipher,
who's,
yeah. But like it seems like they're truer to themselves, and like someone like Bananas or Wes, who are like semi-producers at this point.
Yeah,
Like they're
basically.
trying to gear storylines. Like when Bananas ends up taking Cara Maria's shirt and puts it on and like sets everything up. That's very clearly Bananas had a discussion with like one of the field
They're like-
producers and cameramen. Like, all right, here's how we're gonna shoot
Yeah.
it. Here's what I'm gonna do.
And they're like,
they
well-
told him, they're like, yeah, great, you guys go get set up. I'll go do this.
Yeah, and they're like, we're gonna have like storm clouds and like all of these like evil, and like we'll modify the audio. Like that was actually really well done production wise in terms of like creating that scene and mood. I thought it was really well done.
I can do without Zach and Jenna. Also, the whole reveal, like the big reveal, was Zach was on Bumble in South Africa. Like, not what I thought. Like that's very.
We're done. We
very low
We
stakes.
can't.
I do appreciate Zach is so like manipulative and controlling
Yeah.
that he somehow got Jenna to apologize for the entire thing
That's
just by
true.
being an asshole about it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we're totally done. It's just like,
Calm down, Zach.
come on, guys. Like, if you actually really cared, like, this isn't the biggest deal. Like, his story isn't even that egregious. You have a couple drinks, you're in wherever in Africa
check it
there.
out.
Just like, let's see if this shit works. Download it and be like, okay, here's my account.
Yeah, like if you're not, but he did go on to say like it's not in my fiber to cheat on anyone. Like, wasn't there like 2 seasons ago?
Who's
He
the
was cheating on Jenna. Like, wasn't that a thing? I vividly remember.
Oh, 100%.
this. She called him and he thought it was someone else.
Yeah. And then what? Like, who's the girl that he used to date back in the day?
John A.
John A. And like, he like destroyed that girl's soul. So like, this is just Zach at this point. Zach is kind of an asshole.
Yeah, like it's still really bizarre.
I wouldn't want him dating my sister. Let's just say that.
It's still weird to me that he was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense for like the type of competitor that he is. But
Maybe they saw him interact with Amanda last year and they were just like, oh, he's kind of ruthless. But it's just like, Amanda just brings the worst out in everybody.
she really does.
Like Amanda, it was funny at the tribunal when Amanda was like grilling Zach and Zach's just like, oh, I'm with whatever my partner is. It's just like, yeah, the reason why I was an asshole last year is because I hate you, not because I'm just generally an asshole.
Well, with the way that this plays out, if the Wes and Hunter sort of relationship, their alliance, it seems like you mentioned, like they're on the side of like all the Brits and everything like that. I think you could see a thing where like Bananas, Zach, Jenna. I don't know about Nani. Maybe she is a part of that too, but like everyone seems to be relatively indifferent towards Turbo. I think they're all kind of scared of him.
Yeah.
So they're just stay away from Turbo, but I can see them all just actively going after those people.
That's what I think it's setting up for right now. I think Amanda and Josh go home just because she's so annoying and everyone
I just
hates
think
her.
that they keep them around. I really do.
If it was up to me, I'm getting rid of them. Because I just don't like them. But if it was up to me and if Camilla was on the show, I'm going after her episode 1 too. So it's like sometimes you just have biases.
Your girl Smashley is gone.
We kind of called it here.
You've been like the Smashley whisperer in fantasy. Every time you draft her, she wins, and every time you don't draft her, she's gone on the first episode.
Yeah.
She was in good spirits after
Because
losing.
she's won $1 million.
I will say she was a gracious loser.
Of course. I wish
I called on. Of course, this is Smashley.
Okay.
You only get 2 versions of Smashley. You get the crazy person,
Yeah.
that we saw in episode.
she didn't get
1.
enough
She was
time to
freaking-
get like super drunk.
But she was freaky. She's either freaking out and losing her mind, or she seems like the most reasonable person on the show. it's
there's no
there's
middle
no
ground.
in between when it comes to her. So I thought she performed okay in the final elimination.
I wish we could see all the tape. Because like there could have just been a point where Smashley was just like, all right, there's no way for us to win this because Hunter is absolutely eating Chase for breakfast, which is not shocking at all. Bachelor versus like absolute like brute meathead, right? I don't know. I think
Chase wasn't a small guy though.
No, but Hunter's a little tank.
Yeah.
Like he can't be too tall, but like that guy is like thick.
Yeah, he's a fire hydrant. So there's a lot of like, I appreciate that they went after Ashley on the basis of like Cara Maria. I think said it best. Like people don't understand that she's a really good competitor.
No,
2 of the 3 seasons that she tried, she won.
Yeah,
like she's really good.
I question whether she tried. Like how did Georgia try? It seemed like Ashley tried on the first one, but then she probably like we didn't see all the tape. My guess is like Hunter was absolutely dominating, and she's just like, well, like there's no way for us to win this if Hunter just keeps absolutely destroying. You see that like the little shimmy shake Hunter pulled off on Chase there, cuts to the inside. Bounces to the outside, and he's just like all the way to the house.
Yeah, he wasn't prepared for any sort of juking to go on. But I hate eliminations like that. I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Of basically it's Powerball, but different. But we saw this like 2 seasons ago. I think it was like Melissa against Sylvia. They basically dropped a ball down like Plinko style, and it really depended on where the ball actually landed. Just give you a huge advantage, and that's what happened with this. When the drone dropped the ball and it bounced, like if it bounced towards you, you're probably going to win.
Or at least you're set up very nicely.
Or have Hunter's strategy of if the other guy gets it, just tackle him.
Yep.
Which was the move, which Chase didn't seem to realize. But
Chase probably was not capable of doing anything about it.
I don't know about that. Like
Hunter would.
Like, Hunter did eat him, but like you'd think that you'd be able to wrap him up and try to push him out. But he just missed him on the tackle.
True. I think we're bearing the lead of all of this, though.
Let's hear it.
Ashley and Hunter. All right, so at the end when they hugged there.
I thought that was nice.
What the hell is going... No way. I was looking at the camera just like, what? One, literally moments before, Hunter is double barreling the bird at her, laughing at her when like Georgia got the point and stuff. And like when he took Chase out and yada, yada, yada. And then what? Like just right afterwards, they're hugging it out as she's leaving. And he says, you know, I've got love for you. She gave him money last year and this is all a facade.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what it felt like to me. It's just like, and I think if I'm a challenge producer and I want to maintain that rivalry between the two of them, I don't let that tape go out. I think that tape,
but it's also
like you got to keep. There's a professional wrestling thing. You got to keep kayfabe. Like if that's your enemy, you got to keep that person as your enemy. Like we're supposed to be under the impression that she stole $500,000 from him and he loves her. Come on.
Well,
come on.
They did work together, but the big thing too is like you also have to have a redemption arc for some of these people to have them back. You just can't have a cast of completely hateable people. So if you give Hunter sort of the glory of defeating Ashley and bringing her down, and then she's a bit gracious about it, that maybe they can mend fences. Maybe they can be on another like rival season together.
Do you think Ashley's actually gone though?
Yes.
Like, you don't think there's like a redemption house or anything?
I think TJ said there was no redemption house. I tend to believe, and I think people are like fed up with redemption houses and all these stupid twists. And they even announced, I don't know what the twist is going to be at the end.
What's that, like the relic?
Yeah. Like the relic is something. So I don't know what that is. I hope it's not.
It's like an immunity idol or something maybe?
If that's what it is, that's fine. But like, if it's going to be a rule, make it a rule. Have people aware of what the rule is.
Yeah.
And then let the game unfold around that. Like, I'm just sick of, it really pissed me off last season when Cam orchestrated the vote perfectly, although she wasted the vote on Jose and Devon, which is stupid anyway. But all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, but they don't get to pick who they want to face because there's mercenaries coming in. Like, it really took.
Then the mercenaries ended up winning.
Yeah, but it took the air out of the tires of the entire episode.
And it hurts our fantasy league. It's just like Ashley and Hunter last year getting to the finals. It's just like, well,
no one could.
Now the top points that anybody scores weren't even available.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So I have the quote of the episode.
What's that?
It actually came from Amanda. Amanda said, Jenna decided to come in my ear. mistake. Right? I don't know if she knew what she was saying, but like just to hear it was like, oh, this is very aggressive.
Amanda is like for 130, 130 bucks on the
If she laughs,
fantasy.
she's gonna score.
She's the type of she's just such a needle in everybody's side, right? That if she's here, she's scoring because the points do lend to a person like her, you know, playing the game. And she doesn't have Joss here anymore, so she's not happy about anything. She just generally hates everybody. Now her best friend's gone. She's at the end, she's going like, I hope Hunter is gonna be like okay with me throwing him in. It's just like, you have burned all of your bridges.
Okay, so the actual, like, the tug of war, we get the top three. We got Theo, we got Cara Maria, Bananas, and his partner, what the hell's his partner's name? Morgan. And who was the other two? Amanda and Josh. So they coordinate the vote, and I don't know why Amanda spilled the beans on who she didn't want to vote in, because obviously that's who Johnny was going to be like, yeah, let's throw those two up.
Yep. And then you can choose the third one.
Yeah, you choose the third one. But how, when they actually get to the vote, they almost screwed it up because Bananas and Cara Maria are not on the same page and voting for the same person. What's going on?
No, I don't know.
Like, that seemed really stupid. And why all of a sudden is Josh not voting with his partner?
No idea.
Like, all that entire thing seemed like it was set up, but also very confusing. It made no sense.
Yeah, Josh just seems like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
So
He also seems like he's going to get very emotional.
and I've a few people have like tweeted at us, I believe, and they said like the Big Brother fans, and they were just like, Josh only won because like the person he was up against in the final was like everyone hated so much that like it was basically just a free win. But like they were like, he was a terrible competitor. He was kind of kept around because he was so cussed. Yeah. And then he just won at the end because his opponent was just so egregious.
Yeah, that's what I like about the challenge over this. You actually have to go out and win. Although they did end up inside the top three, which absolutely blew my mind.
Sure, and challenge that, like they could have literally said anybody won that,
Yeah,
and I would have been like, cool, I accept that. Because I have no idea. There was no way that was a bad challenge for TV. Because like it was really hard to understand. I think like was it TJ driving the monster truck?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was just TJ's like, can we have
this monster
can we
truck?
get a monster truck in Namibia for me to drive over top of a bunch of cars? And they're like, you know what, TJ? We can do that.
We'll hook you up.
And he's just like, cool. And they're like, well,
remember when TJ used to always be sponsored by Monster Energy drink?
Yeah.
I'm shocked that like there wasn't some sort of
monster, yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't advertised like on the side of the monster truck. Like they got to be selling more of these sponsorships. Like back in the day, it'd be like, oh, you get your whatever it might be, like a really shitty flip phone for winning this elimination. They need to bring back that stuff. Give out some prizes.
I wonder how much like that cost them. Like Namibia, being in Namibia, getting a bunch of scrap cars like that,
that was
those are
probably
probably like
half of them.
Yeah, they're probably like $50 a piece type of thing.
Is Namibia where they filmed Mad Max? I think it was.
Seems about right, and yeah, and that's why a lot of these scenes and stuff seem very similar to that movie. Like when you've seen some of the stuff in the trailer of like the chains and like the wheels behind like these big huge machines and desert mobiles and stuff like that. Like it seems like it's very Mad Max-esque.
If that's gonna be the case, they need to have some guy like pounding electric guitar on the front of these monster trucks, or like, well, what's going on? That'd be awesome. That was the best part of Mad Max, the guy who played the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Mad Max?
No.
How'd you not see Mad Max?
I don't know. I'm not a movie guy.
It's like it was the best movie of that year. It's incredible. It's always on, and it's just one extended chase scene, the entire movie, and just shit is happening. It's awesome.
I'll check it out.
You gotta check it out. I mean, we're doing the Oscar show next week. You're not gonna be on it. You're gonna be producing. Every movie's gonna be spoiled for you.
Yeah.
Not too concerned about that?
I'm not too concerned about it.
I'm going to spoil the favorite for you.
Maybe I'll get into some movies. I don't even know what's up for it yet. I got to create
Panther is up there.
Okay. I haven't watched many movies in the last year, to be perfectly honest.
I was talking about Roma on Twitter the other day, and like people really dislike that movie, although it's going to win Best Picture. It's strange.
I've never even heard of it.
It's very slow, and it's in Spanish.
Which one's Cuss picking? Like, that's really...
That is why, well, I mean, that's why Cuss is on the show. We need to know who he's picking, and then you just pick the opposite of that, and you're going to win.
Or at least, yeah, pick the second favorite. Because he always goes for the big favorite.
Roma is turned into a big favorite.
Like, what's... Like, what are
it's
the...
minus 300 now to win Best Picture.
All right. Odds and lines are subject to change. See website for actual odds. If you or anybody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Exactly. But we'll get the DK Sportsbook odds. They're like gung-ho to do it this year. Last year it was like, whoa, don't mention like betting on the Oscars. Now it's like, Pat, can you talk about gambling on the Oscars? It's fantastic.
I do like betting on that. So I like watching that show. I obviously get a front row seat to watch all of it. And yeah, I'll take your guys in. I'll take your guys' advice into account this year. It's fun watching it, like having small bets and stuff. They don't let you bet very much on these things. But.
No, they cap it. Although I did hit a nice one on Moonlight 8-1 2 years ago. Because the ultimate Anderkirks came
That
through.
was the best.
It was, but like just the way that I'll get into this on the Oscar show.
Yeah.
The preferential voting allows longer shots to have more of a chance.
For sure.
And there's more of a corollary between, since they extended the Best Picture category from like 5 to up to 10, there's more of a corollary with screenplay in Best Picture than director in Best Picture, which could work against Roma, because it's definitely going to win Best Director. I don't think it's going to win Best Screenplay. Screenplay's not great. But again, save that for the Oscar show next week. You want to talk about the fight for a second? Like the almost fight? I don't understand what everyone was so upset about. And I don't think Cam did either, because Cam was just like in the scene, like, I think she was drinking like a water or coffee or something, just chilling the entire time, just being like, what are you guys fighting about?
Yeah.
It's great.
I think there was a lot more alcohol. Like Hunter seemed legitimately boozed up, I think.
I did appreciate when they started like clapping about something and he freaked out outside and tried to jump the rail.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about me? It's just like, Jesus.
Didn't quite clear the rail and like jumped into the security guard.
Maybe you shouldn't talk to anyone, Hunter. You just be a big brute and let Wes handle all of this stuff for you. But that being said, like, if you're Hunter, he was like, I don't even know Wes. He's never really been on a show. Maybe they have, but like, it would have been one of his first seasons. He's like, I hardly know the guy. It's just like, gotta be careful with Wessie boy, because Wes will at some point throw you under the bus. That's for damn sure.
I like that it was Kane who goes up and like to calm the guy down. Like, that seems eerily level-headed for someone who looks like he's on an awful lot of steroids.
He's like the right guy in the house. Like, what guy? There's only a few guys in the house that you would probably want to put in that position. It's like, Hunter's not going to go after that dude, man. Like,
yeah, I don't think anyone's going after that dude.
No, him, Turbo. Those are the guys I would not want to be in a dark alley with. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, I don't think you can sleep on Zach, because Zach is an absolute monster.
He does look smaller.
He does, but he's still like huge. Like he must be like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
Just a big individual. And like Bananas is like my size. He's like a more jacked version of my body type. He's like 5'8".
Yeah.
He's not a big dude. Or CT. You don't want to go after CT, because he's also gigantic. And might weigh 300 pounds now. Not getting a lot of CT screen time.
Which is probably good for him.
Probably. But I don't know.
Who's his partner again? Yeah, there hasn't been very much.
Some crap Big Brother person. I guarantee you she sucks. Julia.
Julia.
Yeah. Any other notes from the episode? I have Chase as a dud. Oh, more about Hunter. Taking the shirt off in the fight.
I liked it.
Very class move on his part. But like, out of all the people to go after, what are you going after Leroy for?
Yeah, Leroy doesn't.
The one person in the house who, like, across the board, everyone likes, and that's the guy. And Hunter even said, like, I got no problem with Leroy, but I'm going after him. Like,
yeah,
that's why you're gonna make people hate you, because everyone loves Leroy. And if you lose him, people aren't gonna be getting haircuts in the house.
No, like, and that's why he's just like, I'm gonna chop off Johnny's legs. Just like, why don't you stop being a coward and go after, get somebody to go after Johnny, and then Leroy. Leroy is such a nice guy, good guy to get along with. Everyone likes him in the house. It's just like, if you remove Johnny from Leroy, like, what's Leroy gonna do? Like, he's not the best at politicking. Usually he just rides the coattails of Johnny until, the final four, and then Johnny throws him under the bus and they still maintain friendship and all of that stuff. But it's like, if you remove Johnny, Leroy's a lost puppy at that point. Like, that's the move. Now, it's, I guess, scary. Nobody wants to go into the elimination with Johnny, but like, when we made like stats boards and stuff,
he's not great.
Bananas is not great at eliminations. His game is just not getting thrown into eliminations most of the time. Like that's what he is good at. And is not getting himself thrown into there. Like you look at, his historical record is not good. Wes actually has a very, very good elimination record. It's like 12-6 or something.
Wes piled up a lot of wins on Fresh
when he was on steroids.
No, on Fresh Meat 1, his very first season. It was him and Casey were partners. And I think they won like 6 exile. Like they were the team that everyone threw in every time to get rid of them. And they just won every single time.
Yeah.
And Wes was just horrible to his partner because she was so bad. He just basically carried her the entire way. And I think they got bounced right before the finals. Darrell ended up winning. Because Darrell threw him in every time. And then on Fresh Meat 2, they were both on. And Wes got everyone to vote for Darrell. And they got... Darrell and Cara Maria were a team on Cara Maria's first season. They lost the exile, gone in the first episode.
Wow.
It's shocking that we actually ever saw Cara Maria again.
And she's become one of the best.
She's the female face of the franchise.
At this point, yeah.
It's her.
Like, there's other girls that historically, though, like, you put her up against Laurel in most situations.
No one's talking about that. It's like, Laurel was never marketed as, like, the face of the challenge. Cara Maria is.
Yeah.
It's her and Johnny, 1A, 1B.
Yep.
Then it's everyone else. They tried to do it with Corey. And they were just like, you know what? Corey works better on Teen Mom than he does on the challenge.
Is he on Teen Mom?
Yeah, he's great. He's actually kind of good on Teen Mom.
I've
watched more Teen Mom this season than I had ever, just because I want to see Corey and Cheyenne on it. I also had Bristol Palin, Sarah Palin's daughter.
Oh, yeah?
It wasn't as horrible. The people seemed to
Cheyenne? Like, that's who...
Corey had a baby with.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they teens, though? Why are they on Teen Mom?
I don't know.
They're definitely not teens.
They're not teens.
Like false advertisement.
As someone who had a teen mom, that show really always bummed me out. But they got away from, like, this is what people are doing to get on TV and just have, like, people with kids on it who, like, aren't together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit better.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. It's not like a must-watch type show. I got some must-watch shows at the end, although Lohan Beach House has really let me down. There's only one good thing.
You're not liking Panos anymore?
I love Panos, but he's the only reason to watch the show. He's not in it. If it was Panos Beach House, then I'd be all in with his...
Maybe that's going to be the next season.
Yoho cigarettes and just his utter contempt for every single person that shows up and how they're all idiots. Kayla's on the show now.
Kayla from
the challenge. They flew her in. She's been like a mid-season like new person on the show.
What's she's like a bartender at the beach house?
Yeah, she's one of the beach house people. But
okay. I like Kayla.
I like Kayla too, but like all the other people
good reality
on
TV
the show
star
are just horrible. They're horrible people. And Lindsay Lohan in every single scene looks like she's gonna cry or had just finished crying.
I mean, she's had a hard life. Like shit hasn't gone great for Lindsay Lohan.
I mean, it hasn't gone poorly for Lindsay Lohan. She's Lindsay Lohan. She has her own beach house in the Mykonos with Panos.
Where's the Mykonos?
In Greece.
Okay.
It's like a...
Hence why Panos is her.
Yeah, that's why Panos is there. Some like... I think he's some sort of like exporter son. He's just rich. He seems very rich.
And he likes to hold it over top of everybody that he interacts with.
No, I don't even think that. He seems to be working harder than every single person on the show. He's setting everything up. He's always there. He's never drinking. He's just smoking really long female-esque cigarettes the entire time.
Love it.
And just being mad at everyone for not working as hard and drinking too much.
Let's try to get Panos on the show.
I would love to have Panos on the show. Panos is my favorite. He is the breakout reality TV character of 2019. The show that he's on is just horrible. If there
was a Grammy, or no, Grammy is music, Oscars, movies, Emmy. Those were like last week, weren't they?
No, the Grammys were last week. The Emmys, I think, are in September.
Do they have reality TV breakout stars? They should be getting into that because reality TV is becoming... I guess becoming is the wrong term, but like
all they have at the Emmys is best reality TV show and best reality TV host, which somehow TJ Lavin has never been nominated for. I know he's not the best, but he's been doing it now for like 16 years.
He's a legend.
RuPaul wins every year. RuPaul's Drag Race wins like best reality show every year.
Never watched that.
Oh, really? RuPaul's Drag Race is top notch.
Oh, is it? Okay.
My wife and I watch it.
What's it on?
I want to say Bravo. I think it's on. I don't know what we get up here. We just watch it like on demand. Just turn it on. RuPaul's just bitching about something. Right. He's great. And now he's on some other show. RuPaul's an excellent host. But I think like Jeff Probst used to win all the time.
For Survivor?
Yeah. Survivor used to win. Survivor.
Kind of lame.
I guess.
Because it's just like, it's just canned answers and stuff.
I haven't watched Survivor in like 15 years.
Yeah.
It's still on, so I assume people are watching it. It seems like an older demo type show though.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this. I want to do my enjoyability power rankings. I have, for just this season, not overall, because Cam would be number one on my list for females of just enjoying to see her on screen. but we haven't really got much of her so far this season. She's coming. So after this season only, after 2 episodes, guys' side, number 1, most enjoyable person to see on screen for me, Theo. Theo,
I don't hate him.
Every time he's on, he's doing stuff. People like, he's very arrogant with people. I enjoy it.
He's very arrogant. He's acting like he's been here before.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, you know what? You guys may not respect me because you don't really know me and I'm new to this, but he's just like, I belong here. And he's got a great partner. Like, that team is...
I think that's the team to beat.
That's going to be a tough team all around. Like, if he's already strong, that was like the one concern maybe that you had, is that he wasn't like as brute force strong, but it's like, it seems like he's an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, he's an elite athlete. That really does go.
But his body type doesn't like lend to like, oh, maybe if he got into this, but just like, he's going to have better endurance than people.
Sure,
he's going to be.
But he's also like 6'5" too. Like, he's the tallest guy, and he's like, he looks thin, but I just think he's like super fit.
Yeah.
So he probably is incredibly strong.
He's got like that John Jones type of strength.
Yeah. So I have Theo at number 1. I have Ashley Kane at number 2. I'm just very intrigued with what he's up to.
He hasn't really had too much screen time yet.
No,
I don't know,
like,
but he seems kind of cool. Seems down to earth.
Yeah,
and,
I caught him in the background just crushing beers the entire time. Like, he just seems...
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he just seems like a good dude.
Yeah. I don't have...
Seems like a good hang. He seems to be very realistic about everything.
I kind of regret not having him on my team
And
right
I have
now.
Wes at number 3. Wes is just pure entertainment.
He is good.
Every time that he's on, like, he just, almost like how steroids help some of these people really enhance their performance. Anytime you see Wes on the screen, it just enhances the scene.
He's just smarter than everybody.
Is he smarter than everybody?
He's better.
He says he's smarter than everybody.
He's better at the politics game than basically everybody.
Yeah. So, top 3 female contestants. Smashley is gone, but she is my number 1.
Of course.
Just
when she's on screen, it's entertaining.
Number 2, I have Devon.
Okay.
Devon.
I like Cam.
But Cam hasn't done anything this season, just for this season.
Oh, this just for this season. Okay.
Devon just coming in with one-liners. She's always fired up, good at the confessionals, good being a narrator. Like, there's no Marie this season to narrate it.
Oh, come on. No way.
Marie sucks, but she's good at, like, the confessionals. That's, like, the only... I think it's the reason she gets invited back every single time.
I feel as though she's always a good narrator,
Like
because,
Jenny-
like, nobody actually really lets her into, like, their alliance. So she's kind of, like, somebody in the middle ground that, like, doesn't really have any ties to anyone.
Like, Jemmy's a really good narrator, too, who's also kind of falls in the same camp. She has no real alliances with anyone. She's kind of a dud competitor.
Yeah.
But she sticks around for a bit. I think Devon's going to be around for a while on this one. Number 3 is Nani. I saw the fire in Nani's eyes when she, like...
Doesn't take much.
She started going in
She's going off on people this
like
year.
Amanda it got to the breaking point where she found Amanda just a tad too annoying, and then all of a sudden it was Nani time.
Yeah.
Puts down the drink, and she's going to be in someone's face, and I really miss Nani.
Yeah, Nani was... It's too bad that she was in a relationship and she wasn't able... Because she is actually pretty... Like, you forgot over the last 3-4 years or whatever, like... She gets into it with people. She's not a terrible competitor. She's not a great competitor.
Yeah, I don't know how good... I think that the reason that they... Because I think Josh and Amanda beat Turbo and Nani. I just have a feeling like Nani blew it.
Probably.
That would be my guess of what happened.
Well, yeah, she's not a great competitor. But she can be a very, very good fantasy player.
Oh, she's the best. She's one of the best.
But who's she hooking up with this year? That's what we... Like, she's got to hook up with someone.
Turbo?
Maybe.
Who's on the board for her? All the Brits are on the board for her.
Yep.
Like that bear guy.
I mean, like, Kyle will probably... Kyle will get in there at some
Kyle
point.
and his partner, Maddie, seem like they just might be hooking up.
Yeah.
And that Georgia girl is very thirsty. Thirsty for some Hunter.
Oh, she
not, like, feeling
wants it.
She's not feeling it.
Not yet. You get a couple drinks in him, and if you get a couple drinks in him and he's not so mad taking his shirt off trying to fight everybody, maybe he'll get into it. But
well, if we are right and Bananas does go home, I think that alleviates a lot of like the tension with the Hunters and the Amandas, that maybe we get to see a different side of them.
Yeah. Johnny is a thorn in their side right now.
But the Hunter thing, he said it after he beat Ashley, that he went on this like weird soliloquy about, she took my chip. I had a chip on my shoulder and she took the chip away from me, but I beat her. Now I got the chip back. Isn't that the opposite of how a chip on your shoulder
No,
works?
he seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder when he was double barreling the bird at her.
Sure, but like he got his chip back, but like it really made no sense to me.
Yeah,
I feel like he should have the chip on his shoulder because she took the money away from him.
She gave him no less than like $200,000. I'm convinced. After the hug at the end, like I was just like, all right, no, I'm done. This is bullshit.
I always felt the same way about Sarah and Bananas. Like, it's so good for the show to have the one person keep all the money that you just do it. And
but you gotta, like, Sarah's not gonna come on the screen and be like, I love you, Johnny, you're great. Because that's not, you just can't play that game. You gotta keep kayfabe.
Hunter is also an imbecile.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help.
It's true. It's true.
He really does let the emotions get the best of him in any one scenario.
I do blame the producers, as I said earlier. I do blame the producers for releasing that. They should never have showed that to us, in my opinion.
You got anything else from the episode?
Oh, there was one part, and I was watching it live, so I wasn't able to like go back and look. There was one part where they're in the house, and I think it was during like the Hunter fight. There's somebody sitting on somebody's lap. There's a girl sitting on a guy's lap. I just wasn't sure who it was.
I think it was Maddie and Kyle.
Was that it?
I think so. Kyle's just...
That kind of makes sense.
Kyle's just in.
Because like I was...
No matter who Kyle was talking to, they're into Kyle.
It was off in the distance, and I was just like, all right, who's banging? Because like I saw... Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they're probably...
I could be completely off.
They'll be getting after it. But Kyle will probably get into it. As long as he's here, he'll get into it with a few people for sure.
Yeah, well, we didn't see... There was actually one confessional that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was from that ninja girl. How like fired up she was for going to the elimination.
Look, she's a competitor.
It almost seemed like she wanted to be voted in so she could go do it.
Yeah, her and Turbo are probably not going to score too many drama points. They seem pretty level.
They might just win things.
They could.
So that would be key.
And like her skill set, like that thing of holding onto ropes and stuff, like that did not feed into her skill set. Like get this girl on some monkey bars and watch out. She'll beat all the guys in the house.
Yeah, I mean, who did they go? It was Paulie and Ninja against who?
They called out who was his big enemy.
They went up against Kyle. Like, there's no way Paulie beat Kyle.
Yeah, it was Kyle.
There's no way Paulie beat Kyle in that. Is there?
I think they're pretty competitive.
I assume Ninja beat the other girl.
I think Paulie's
so little, man. He's a little dude. Like he's
a good athlete though.
He must be like 5'5". Kyle's like 6'3".
Yeah,
He's
but
huge.
Paulie does jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Like he's pretty strong. I saw him actually hitting some pads. Like he looks like he looks like he could kick some ass, man, if they actually fought.
You do the UFC show, Demetrius Johnson isn't gonna go in and like knock out
Kane.
yeah, you could go knock out Cain Velasquez. Like,
Cain Velasquez or Ashley Kane for that matter.
Like when you give up 100 pounds on someone, like it's tough to win a tug of war against them.
How big is Kyle though?
It looks like he's done a few rounds of steroids.
Yeah.
Like from the first season he was on to this season, like he's noticeably more muscular.
Steroids and lots of like facelifts and stuff like that.
Oh, and he's very open about his like hair plugs and like plastic surgery. He looks significantly better now than he did. I saw a picture of him like when he was on Geordie Shore. He looked about 15 years older. It's like my friend who went bald at 21. He went gray at 20, bald at 21. Then he kept like the golden horseshoe. It was a white horseshoe around his head.
You got to abandon ship.
It was like, dude, you look like you're 45. And he was putting on a bit of weight at the time too. So he shaved his head. He looked horrible. Then he lost like 20 pounds and all of a sudden he looked his age again. That's the move. You got to go Michael Jordan, just clean cut. Eventually LeBron's going to do it. LeBron's going to look like he's 10 years younger.
You just got to let Mother Nature take its course and just accept the hand that you're dealt and then do the best with what you got. So
we think Bananas, Zach, or CT goes home next week.
I agree.
If the spoiler isn't a true spoiler, that a legend is going on. Maybe it's Theo and Cara Maria.
Could be Wes.
Could be Wes. I don't think it's going to be Wes.
I just don't know if Johnny... It's tough knowing how many numbers people have right now. We just don't know where the heads of all the British people are at.
If I was one of the British people coming into the show, I would think that I did a modicum of research on it. Be like, let's just get rid of Bananas. That seems like the move.
Bananas is the guy I think is going home. Like, I don't think that they would have... And they're kind of dumb in this sense, but like... The word legend is like such a name. Is so big. So like Johnny, CT, Wes,
Cara Maria.
And Cara Maria are the four I would count as legends. They have been selling Cara as the best female competitor.
I think she's one of the most well-rounded females.
But like they made mention of that during the episode, didn't they? Or am I hearing that? Or am I thinking that from something else?
I mean, she has as many challenge wins as Smashley does.
Yeah, somebody was talking her up, so maybe shit. Hopefully not for the sake of my fantasy
team. She also
team.
has like guns too. Like she's the most like in shape of all the females, except for Ninja.
And actually, all of that being said, Paulie being on Twitter saying that like I guess him and Kara have some issues now because he like cheated on her and stuff. But or he was like two-timing her while
with a girl from The Bachelor.
With Danielle Maltby, Danielle M.
Bachelor, yeah.
He does say like this is the season, like on this season you'll see why me and Cara Maria, like I need to get her back, all of this other stuff. So like I think there's got to be a lot more because we haven't seen all that much between their relationship. Besides, like especially last episode, we didn't really see them interacting at all.
So out of all these people, who didn't we see in this episode? We didn't get much of Wes's partner D. We got no CT and Julia.
No.
We got very little Cam. We got none of Zach's partners, Zahida.
Honestly, I think I think we really can narrow it down to Johnny or Zach that are going home.
I didn't even see Gus on the screen. The guy that looks like Chad Michael.
I hardly even know who that is.
The other Natalie, not Ninja, other Natalie and JP, didn't see them whatsoever.
Yeah.
Didn't see Bear at all.
No.
Didn't see Polly. Polly was non-existent in this episode.
Pretty much, except for at the beginning when he called out Kyle and they did that challenge.
And Leroy's partner, Shailene, is Canadian, apparently.
Yeah, she's on the Canadian Bachelor, apparently.
Oh, she had the Canada flag. I was like, who the hell is that? You don't see much of her.
No.
So I always feel like the people that you don't see much of at the beginning of the season, it generally bodes well for their prospects.
Unless they're just not very intriguing characters, and that could be the case with Shailene.
So no predictions on what the relic is?
I don't even know what to think about it, to be perfect. I think it's maybe, like an immunity idol, but...
Or do you give someone a disadvantage if you get it, or you get an advantage, like you get an extra 10 seconds?
And like, how do you win the relic?
I have no idea.
So many questions. We'll find out.
Viewer vote.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I guess we talked about Lohan Beach House a little bit. I kind of out. It's about.
I've watched half an episode.
I watched like the first 4 episodes and just I give it a legitimate chance. Didn't do anything for me. There was a commercial on. Did you watch the commercial? Or did you just fly through it all? If you watch it live, you watch the commercials.
Probably.
There's a WWE movie coming in.
Yes, with Paige.
Yeah, and it's called Fighting With My Family. But it has like Vince Vaughn in it and The Rock.
Yeah.
But it also has like the other guy from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Has Stephen Merchant in it. Like, is it a comedy?
So
it has comedic actors in it, but it seems to be like a heartwarming.
It's WWE Productions Studios, probably partially, right?
Yeah, from the makers of, was it 12 Blocks with John Cena?
The Marine?
No, the Marine is bad. 12. I think it's called 12 Blocks, and it's awesome.
I haven't seen that one.
It's the one where John Cena's in a helicopter.
Does he rap at all? Maybe.
No. Does John Cena rap anymore?
Hopefully not.
I've been really out on wrestling for like the past 2 decades, but
yeah, I don't think he does, but maybe.
So
he
is
does.
Paige like a legit superstar?
She was.
Not anymore. Is she British?
She had like drug issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it could be an interesting kind of story that she has.
I'm usually in on anything that Vince Vaughn does outside of True Detective season 2.
Like I could see it being interesting. I don't know. It looks like it's going to be kind of cheesy and corny.
Yeah.
But like I think she has a pretty interesting story. Like came from like a small town in like Britain, and like it was like her and her siblings all like fought on all these little small smoker shows and stuff growing up. And you know what's his name? Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, that's her boyfriend, but like they like doing a lot of drugs and stuff, and like they show up at like different like there's an MMA promotion called Combate Americas, and like he's like a figurehead basically for them, and like apparently she's really, really nice in person, but like she's had like big coke problems and stuff. So I wonder, with it being the WWE productions, like that's kind of the part of the story I would want to see. But like I imagine they probably just like pretend none of that stuff happened.
So it's a lot like Bohemian Rhapsody, which again, Oscar show is next week. That's up for Best Picture. Won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. The movie's fine. It's actually quite enjoyable to watch if you like Queen. It's just a bunch of Queen songs, but all the interesting parts of the movie they didn't put in, like Freddie Mercury hiding being gay and going to all these gay clubs. You get to like, you see like him walking into one, but that's all you see. At one point you see like remnants of cocaine in the background, but that's all you see. Like, you don't really see him go down the hole of like being a full out like out of his mind.
I want to see him.
Yeah, you don't see the dark side. You only really see like there's moments where he struggles. Like obviously he gets HIV. That's a downturn and everything. But I don't know. It was a bit too uplifting for me. There was a darker side of that movie which would have made it really good.
Yeah. I want it more like, I want it more like.
That's not, I guess, what people. It doesn't make 200.
I don't want it as dark as Requiem for a Dream here or anything, but like maybe a little bit like Boogie Nights or something. Like not nearly.
Boogie Nights does go down the hole.
Yeah, but not Requiem for a Dream,
Yeah.
where like at the end you're just like.
I will say the movie that's
boy.
the most like that, like I wouldn't say Requiem for a Dream style. Star is Born
Never seen it.
is the one that's the darkest. It's the darkest timeline of all these movies.
I find it hard. Requiem for a Dream.
It's
Like
not Requiem for a Dream, man.
I'm legit depressed. Like I watched probably 3 or 4. I haven't watched it in years, but it's just like I remember like the last time watching. I'm like, I'm never watching this again. Like this is just
it's
terrifying.
Funny. There's the two things I remember from that movie the most. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
I remember thinking it was a very like powerful movie when I was in like high school. And upon reflection, it's like it's not.
No.
It's just a bunch of junkies doing drugs.
Yeah.
But the score in it is iconic.
Yeah.
It has one and Lord of the Rings stole it for I think the second Lord of the Rings movie. The doo doo.
I know.
It
makes you really like it affects you.
And because it comes on at the end of that movie when stuff's not going well for everyone. People are going,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. People are going ass to ass.
Yeah.
That's not great.
No,
not great for Jennifer Connelly.
No. That was probably that was a real turning point for her career. Not that it was a bad role whatsoever, but then like when you go ass to ass on video, it's just like by making that decision, lots of other producers and stuff.
She ended up in A Beautiful Mind, got an Oscar nomination like 2 years later. Ellen Bernstein got nominated for an Oscar. She was awesome in that movie. That is the one part that really sticks out. That
the mom.
She was
on the diet pills, which are basically just speed.
Yeah, just on speed, watching Shooter McGavin on TV, talking to her fridge.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a good movie because I remember it so vividly, having not seen it in 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it holds up. If I watch it now, I don't think it would have like the same sort of impact as I thought it would have when I was like 16.
Well, yeah, when I was like 16, like Fight Club was like by far my favorite movie of all time, and I think it probably still. I haven't watched it in years again as well, but I think it probably has stand the trials of time. But I'm not sure. I haven't went back and watched it. I remember thinking it was just so brilliant, and
I have a feeling watching Fight Club through. I haven't seen it in ages either.
Like how he's like kind of the devil. He lives in the basement. He's always wearing red. Like how Tyler Durden is.
Yeah. I
thought that was brilliant, but now maybe if I went back, maybe I wouldn't think it was as brilliant as I thought it was.
It's the best date movie of all time, still.
Fight Club?
It's still the one that I, like, first dates always used to put on. Like, some people say go to horror movies because it stimulates whatever, it makes people want to get close. Fight Club works because it's just Brad Pitt with his shirt off and it just horns people up.
Yeah, it's true.
You never make it all the way through, put it that way. It's the best first date movie.
Pat, you're changing the game over here.
A little bit, but I think that if we were to, you know how we do things in 2019, to watch it through the 2019 lens?
Yeah.
I think it might be a bit misogynistic, that it might not fly today if it came out.
Yeah, with like the man boobs and stuff like that.
It's a very like masculine type movie. It's like
Meatloaf's character.
Yeah, but like Fight Club is huge, I would assume. I mean, I loved it when I was in high school and college, and I haven't watched it since, kind of thing, unless I'm going on a first. I haven't gone on a first date in ages. I've been married, but like, I don't know. It seems like a very bro movie.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, just
like that's why it was my favorite. Yeah. I'm broed out, bro.
Broed out, bro? You're not watching Vanderpump Rules, are you?
No, I never.
I need to get a Vanderpump. If there's any Vanderpump Rules experts out there, I'm trying to get the guys from Watch What Crappens on, because I love Watch What Crappens. That's the best Bravo podcast there is out there if you're looking for recaps.
I have a buddy out there who's like real fired up about it.
Who?
I don't know if he's ever had too much, I don't know if he has too much podcast experience, but like his tweets are always...
Listen, I think that the Vanderpump world is large enough that I can get a professional.
Yeah, hopefully. Fair enough. I don't know. I've never really got into it.
It's so good. Besides the challenge, it is the best reality show.
I don't think anything holds a candle to the challenge.
Vanderpump's pretty good. Vanderpump?
Like, I've actually fallen off with The Bachelor. Like, I've hardly even watched The Bachelor this season. It's just like...
One of the great things...
I just can't.
One of the great things about the challenge that I think that they realized before a lot of other shows did was having people with history with one another and having people have, like, legitimate relationships outside of the show, and then you put them on screen. Yeah, it's more competition-based, but just having repeat characters is always really good for the show. And one thing that Vanderpump did well, and why Lohan Beach Club is basically a low-rent version of Vanderpump Rules. And instead of throwing, like, 8 random people together, they went and found people who were already friends and knew each other, and then put them on a show. And that works a lot better. When you have like real personal dynamics with people, that works better for reality TV. Because although they might be, half the scenes are set up like all reality TV, but there is some of it is genuine. Some of those personal relationships, which is really good. And it's immaculately shot. It's well produced, which is always key to reality TV.
And you love the intro.
I do love the intro.
You want the Pat Mayo Experience intro to be basically a ripoff of it.
I tried to do it. It's just too expensive. The budget of the Pat Mayo Experience does not have an extra 20 grand for opening titles.
Like, why would it, like
the camera?
Oh, the camera. Okay.
The shutter speed of that type of camera and like that HD is just to get the fast motion into slow mo. They apparently have them on the challenge. They have a whole bunch of them. But anyway, anything else from the challenge this week? That's it.
I think we wrapped it all up, and it should be interesting. Obviously, a legend going home, so a bunch of people's fantasy teams are about to eat shit.
Well, I hope it's Paulie. Paulie was the most owned of any.
As he should be. Free square.
I don't have him.
Free square.
I don't want to bet. Just like you would never draft Camilla, I don't want to draft Paulie.
Paulie's the best.
Paulie and Amanda, there's two people I want to root against.
I want to root against Amanda, but I like Paulie.
And like, if I didn't have Theo on my team, I think I'd be actively rooting against Cara Maria at this point too. I find her and Paulie just very annoying together.
Yeah, but like I'm there. I'm here for the coitus points. Like those are guaranteed coitus points.
Are they ever going to show it? Or are they just going to talk about it?
They were talking about an episode. They went away for one episode. They didn't give them very much screen time. Why? Because they're going to be bumping uglies like next week, basically.
Maybe.
Give me all them points.
All right. Where can people watch you and follow you?
You can follow me at Paul Shag on Twitter, and you can watch me every week, basically. That there's a UFC card on right here, DraftKings YouTube channel. You see something that says Fantasy MMA on a thumb, and you have a fighter on it. I am likely hosting it with my co-host, Cody Saftik.
And you'll be on the Challenge show, the reality recap. We're going to try to have more guests on from around the world to discuss not only the challenge, but maybe some Vanderpump Rules as well. I mean, the season is now entering its second half, and it's starting to get really good, so I do want to talk about it. And I guess if anyone watches Lohan Beach House, they can fill me in on what's going on with Panos, or just make me a supercut of the Panos scenes, and that would be fantastic. But they'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the PME. Subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast wherever you can download podcasts. And if you leave a 5-star review, something nice about the show, and your DraftKings handle, you can be in a draw for $20 DK. I will announce the winner on Monday's show next week. Plus, if you smash the like button for the episode and leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section of the video and your 3 favorite people from this season so far, you will also be in a draw for $20 DK. That'll do it for me. Check out Rob McIntyre on Twitter for breakdowns of the scoring and where all the points come from. And enjoy the weekend. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!